guys, it's Victoria and welcome back to Femhead. Today I'm going to share some of the benefits of charting your cycle. So I've made a few videos like this in the past and I'll link those down below because I'm not quite sure what my answers were then. I first read Taking Charge of Your Fertility in 2013. I started charting my cycle from there and endlessly educating myself on the topic and all things menstrual related. Obviously, I have a channel that's pretty much dedicated to it. It has been such a life-changing thing, and I don't say that lightly. It has been a life-changing thing that I've done for myself, and I want to share that with as many menstruating people out there, or people that are going to start menstruating and getting their periods soon, because it just has been such a game changer. I have an introductory course called Chart Your Cycle that I have up on Teachable, and you can go and take it whenever works best for you. You don't have to be in any certain time zone, be there at any certain time. You just have to commit, sit down, and work through it at your own pace when you have the time. When I created that course, I wanted to take all the knowledge I had about charting and to put it into an easy to understand, relatable course that would give those who took it the foundational knowledge they needed to start charting correctly and efficiently, because there is a wealth of knowledge out there and I find it so fascinating and I love learning about it and all the different intricacies, but that can be very overwhelming for someone new to FAM and charting. I wanted to create something where it was like, this is what you need to know and you can go from there, but don't get overwhelmed by everything out there. Just know the core rules and guidelines to do this safe and effectively. So that's what Chart Your Cycle is, and I'll link that down below. Okay, to get into the benefits that I have had. Number one, I have learned what's normal for me, and therefore if something is off or a little out of whack, I can quickly recognize that and then take steps to heal that naturally or figure out what I need to do to get back to my normal. I have dealt with things like a lot of premenstrual spotting, a short luteal phase, both of which I believe were due to a insufficient amount of progesterone, as well as unsatisfactory fertile cervical fluid. I have shared my journey of healing my progesterone deficiency and fixing my luteal phase issues in other videos, and I'll link those down below as well if you're curious. For me, it was a very simple fix of just taking a supplement. For other people, their issues are a lot deeper and take more time to fix, and so I don't want to promote like, I fixed my issues with just, taking this one pill a day, because that's not true for everyone, and a lot of people it does take a lot more time and energy to fix things, but that doesn't mean that you can't heal things naturally or fix the problems you have working with someone. The second benefit is when you know what to expect and the why behind the things you're experiencing during your menstrual cycle, it makes dealing with any of those fickle parts about having a cycle easier. I think of like cramping, a heavy flow, irritability, fatigue. Those are some of my things, but everyone is different. It's obviously not all sunshine and rainbows all the time, but learning that your body, and more specifically your menstrual cycle and your period, are not out to get you and to ruin your life and to make you miserable is a very freeing thing. And I think just understanding that my cycle and my period are a part of me versus this thing that is happening to me just really helped change my mindset about it. This thing wasn't coming in once a month trying to ruin my life. It was just my body doing its job. When it came time for me and my partner to try and conceive, the knowledge that I have learned over the past almost 7 years was just invaluable. Even though we made a decision after 3 months of trying to just stop charting because of just like the stress and anxiety of trying to conceive unsuccessfully, I still knew my body so well and my cycle so well that I could make decisions based on that knowledge that led me to eventually conceive Harry and birth our son Theo. The burst of energy I get after my period. This is something I missed so much while I was pregnant. It was a really odd thing because you always hear people being like, oh, you get, a 9-month break from having your period, or longer depending on how long it takes your cycle to come back. But I missed this burst of energy. If you've never learned about the phases of your cycle, it's not just your period and the time between your period. There's actually 4 phases to your menstrual cycle: the menstrual phase, follicular, ovulatory, and luteal phase, and there are nuggets of gold within those, strengths and weaknesses. And once you learn about the different phases and kind of what's happening within those in your mind and body, you can just structure your life a little better around your cycle to just make it go smoother. I highly recommend it. So essentially what I'm talking about here, if I listen to my body and I slow down leading up to my period and during the first part of my period, I get this burst of energy motivation, inspiration at the tail end of my period leading into that follicular phase, and it is just delicious. I love it so much. I'm currently in it, I just realized. And I definitely have this rah, go me energy, like let's crack down, let's get stuff done, let's deep clean the house, let's get work done. If I don't allow myself to like slow down, take a breather during my period and leading up to it, when my body is craving that and telling me I need that, I don't get this burst of energy. So it's just kind of a good reminder to slow down every now and then on a monthly basis. This burst of energy, yo, is good stuff. 5, understanding what cervical fluid is and that it's not some like dirty, nasty infection that you've got going on. Everyone with a menstrual cycle has it. It's just a fact. And there is just so much to learn from your cervical fluid that might sound a little weird to some of you that don't even know what cervical fluid is or don't know much about it, but there's a wealth of knowledge in your cervical fluid. I was so embarrassed when I was a preteen. I first started noticing stuff in my underwear, and I definitely thought that there was something wrong with me, that it was some sort of, you know, like infection or something. And I was so embarrassed. I didn't say anything to anyone, not my sister, not my mom, no one. I thought there was something wrong with me. And I wish I could just hug every preteen girl and let her know that it is normal, it is okay, it is healthy, it is part of your body functioning correctly, and just like share all this knowledge with her because I don't know, I just want to do that. Number 6, I have both been able to prevent pregnancy and achieve pregnancy thanks to charting my cycle. So many women I find first discover charting either while they're trying to conceive or leading up to the time of like, okay, we've had the conversation, we're ready to start trying, what can we do to better our chances? But more and more I find that people are learning about charting and cycles and all that magical stuff because there's been this definite shift in society and culture, I guess, to focusing how we're treating our bodies, what we're putting into our bodies, onto our bodies, and how that makes us feel. So a lot of people are noticing some of the negative side effects that they have on hormonal birth control, or they just aren't interested in trying hormonal birth control. There's just this shift towards like natural like health and beauty and wellness and all that sort of stuff. So since learning how to chart my cycle, I now like getting my period. And I think that is such a weird thing for a lot of people to hear because periods just have such negativity surrounding it. And I think we're just taught to not like our periods and that they're an inconvenience and they come with all these negative things. But I have definitely found the positives in my period and I look forward to getting it. It is a fresh start. I don't mind my period anymore and I look forward to it. And it's definitely not the why me mentality I used to have. And that is thanks to everything I've learned when it comes to charting. It is an instant icebreaker when charting or menstrual cycles come up, I have found, and I probably talk about it much more than like normal people because, you know, if I'm getting my hair cut or whatever, the question of like, I just don't like this question, but what do you do for work or what do you do in your free time always comes up. But I found that everyone has such a positive response to it, guys included. Everyone wants to talk about their periods, learn more, ask questions. And I'm not like an all-knowing genie, but I just love having conversations about it. And it is an icebreaker, starts a really good conversation. And it's not in the negative, my period is the worst thing ever way that it used to be in high school and college for me. It's a much more positive conversation these days, and I love that. Number 9, I kind of said this one before, but I am so thankful that I am the one in control of my fertility and that I don't have to rely on some outside person, pill, device, patch, you name it, to not get pregnant when I'm not ready. I'm just the one that has the power, is in control, and can make those decisions for myself. And number 10, I have to say that the biggest benefit from making that small decision 7 years ago, this femhead. I would never, ever, done this if I had not made the decision to get off the pill, learn how to chart my cycle, and just got immersed in this community and world. I am forever grateful for that because I would not have femhead, I would not have you guys, I would not have these amazing conversations if it weren't for that decision I made all those years ago. Oh God, he's staring at me. The baby is awake, but perfect timing because I'm done with this video. I want to know in the comments what is one benefit you have found from learning how to chart your cycle or something you're curious about when it comes to charting your cycle. Ask those questions down below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to subscribe to keep up with more of me, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!